Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my May 2020 book haul part 1. So, May is my birthday month, if you guys have noticed, and I tend to buy a lot of books in May. I get a lot of gift cards and gifts from family, and that's usually where I spend a lot of money. I spend money on myself just for my birthday, so I spend a lot of money on books during May. It doesn't matter, it's every year. Anyway, so I have 10 books to show you today of the ones that have showed up so far. I have more coming. And so let's just get into it. So the only book that I have read before is my paperback version now of Empire Grass by Tad Williams. This is the second book in the Last King of Ostenard series. It's the spin-offs, or the next set of trilogies that come after Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, which is a classic. Well, to me, it's classic epic fantasy because it was written in the late 80s, early 90s. So this takes place 30 years after the first set of books, and so we're continuing the story of Simon and Marielle. And this is just one of my favorite series of all time. It's one of my favorite authors of all time. He is one of 2 authors that I buy hardbacks of. So I did read the hardback version of this back in February, luckily, and I got that done. But I bought the paperback so that when I reread it, it'll be in paperback form. So I do really like these new, really big traded paperbacks. My Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn are only in mass market, but that's fine. I've read them several times already. So, anyway, so this is book 2. Book 3 is postponed to 2021 because he just finished up. He had some shoulder issues, so he had to have surgery. So anyway, he's finishing that up now, so we won't see it till probably fall of 2021. But I will probably reread this sometime hopefully next year. I'll reread the Witchwood Crown, and then this one. If you want to pick up an epic fantasy series and you have not picked up Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, please pick up The Dragonbone Chair, one of my favorite books of all time. So I also picked up the Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I don't actually know a whole lot about this series. Again, it's the first book in the series, but it's supposed to be something like Game of Thrones meets Gladiator, so I'm guessing there's gladiators and dragons. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. I don't know. I've seen some rave reviews about this. I haven't seen too much negative, but I also didn't watch them very much because I didn't want to know too much about it. I went off of one of my friends who really liked this, and so I got a copy of it. So we'll see what happens on that one. And then I picked up a used copy of The Restorer by Amanda Stevens. Sorry, this is the first book in the it was something else. Sorry, that was the main character's name. The Graveyard Queen series. And I'm sorry, but one of my subscribers mentioned that they were rereading this, and my brain just went out the window of who that was. I'm sorry. I should have looked that up. My bad. But she was mentioning she was rereading these, and so I picked up the first book of The Restorer. It has to do with a woman who restores graveyards, and she can see ghosts, but she tries not to interact with them, and then somehow she gets involved in, I think, a murder, or sees something, and she meets somebody who has, I think, a ghost attached. I'm not sure. Maybe that's not it. It's something like that. It has ghosts and cemeteries, and it looks like a cool little urban fantasy. So I'm excited for that one. And then so those are the 3 fantasies that I got. Then I got 7 nonfiction books. So my nonfiction collection is growing a little too fast. I really need to calm down. But I bought a lot of books for nonfiction this year. For my birthday, due to the fact that Springathon was just about to start, and I started seeing everybody's videos, and I started buying a lot of stuff, so quite a few of these are for that. But I'm going to show you 2 books first that I bought that were not part of nature books. So we'll get to that in a second. So the first book is The Sun Does Shine, How I Found Life, Freedom, and Justice by Anthony Ray Hinton with Laura Love Harden. So this is a book about one of the men that was featured in Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. He was on, I guess, death row for like 30 years or something. So I hear this is really good and very emotional. As I said, I found Just Mercy fantastic and very impactful and very an important read. So I wanted to read one of a couple. I think there's a couple of books out there now about men who are incarcerated unjustly for many years, and this is one of the ones I wanted to pick up. So that's the one. I hear it's really, really good. And then the other one is a memoir of the First World War, and this is Testament of Youth by Vera Brittain. She was from the UK, and she is talking about during World War I, and she becomes a nurse. She abandons her studies to go become a nurse for the war, and I think it's like showing, it's a memoir. She wrote it a little bit afterwards, like she came back and wrote about it, and it was like, oh, where's the front page? An autobiographical study of the years 1900 to 1925. So it shows like beforehand what was going on, and then during the war, and then a little bit afterwards. So I hear this is really good. Again, it's supposed to be one of the most interesting memoirs from World War I, is what I understand. So I said it's a big chunker, but hopefully I'll get to that. And then I have 5 books that I picked up that are kind of Springathon. Like reasons I bought them is because I saw them on TBRs and I saw them on recommendations and things like that. So the first one is A Fossil Hunter by Shelley Emling, Dinosaurs, Evolution, and the Woman Whose Discoveries Changed the World. And this is about Mary Anning and her, and about how, when she was discovering fossils in Lyme Regis, I think. And then how, I guess, some other men, picked up stuff that she found, and then, they made the discovery. So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of a interesting one. I don't know much about that subject. I also picked up The Snow Leopard by Peter Matheson. I don't know how you say that. Anyway, and so this is his memoir of going to Nepal to study, I guess, Himalayan blue sheep, and also to look for the snow leopard. And I think it's about his time through there, and it's like dated and stuff. I don't know. So it's like, I guess it's kind of a travel log kind of thing. So I don't know. I've heard really good things about this. I don't know enough about what it's about, but as I said, it was on my list, and I finally just broke. I also got An African in Greenland by T.T. Michelle Messi? I don't know how to say that. Sorry about that. This is translated from the French by James Kirkup. And this has to do with an African man who finds a book on Greenland and decides to go. So I'm actually not even sure what time period we're talking about. I just realized that. It was first published in 1981, so it's clearly got to be before that. But I don't actually know when it starts, like the story starts, so I don't know. But I've heard about it from somewhere, and it was on my list, and I finally just decided to pick it up. And then I picked up one that I cannot remember at all. Like, someone talked about this, and I bought it the day they talked about it. I got it used on eBay. And it is Sea Room, The Study of One Man, 3 Islands, and 500,000 Puffins by Adam Nicholson. So I guess, like, at 21, he inherits these 3 little islands, and it's his talking about going there and seeing the nature and deciding what to do, what he's going to do with it. I know someone talked about it and it sounded interesting, and I've picked up a couple books now that have to do with people who have islands and, isolated and stuff. I don't know. So, anyway, I don't know who I saw that on, but it sounds really interesting. And then the last one I know I saw on Doris at Aldi Books talked about The Invention of History, The Adventures of Alexander van Humboldt, The Lost Hero of Science by Andrea Wolf. All right, so sorry, that came out wrong. I don't know how that said. Anyway, just not working. Anyway, this talks about a scientist from the late 1700s, early 1800s, and how he is like one of the, I guess, premier nature scientists, and he's kind of been forgotten nowadays, even though his name is like on so many in counties and cities and states, like or like signs and things. But I've never heard of him, even though I'd heard of that name. And so it has to do with his adventures, or his, you know, going different places, because he goes to the Americas, he goes to Russia, he goes to Venezuela. I can't talk. Anyway, and so I'm really looking forward to this. Again, I bought this, I think when she had started reading it, when I was interested in it, and it just sounded fascinating. And then it just arrived when I finally got to see her video that she liked it. So I'm glad I bought it. I'm really enjoying, I hope to enjoy this book as well. So those are the 10 books I have so far for my book haul, and more are coming. It'll probably be about the same by the next one. We'll see what happens. Have you guys read any of these books? Have you, or do you have them? Or are you looking forward to reading them? Or do you think any of these I should pick up sooner rather than later? Let me know. Or have you picked up anything that you think is fascinating for Springathon? Springathon needs to happen next year because I have too many books. I bought a lot of books for Springathon, which was put on by Natalie at Curious Reader, and Emma at a couple books, and I really need Springathon to come back again because I have a lot of nature books to read. So anyway, let me know if anything here is something you've read, and let me know how you liked it. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.